Okay, for this project, we're going to follow many of the same steps that Peter McKinnon did. I've got 3 pictures up from the collection, the American Handkerchief collection. And what we're going to do is we're going to add textures, and these textures are going to come from photographs that I just took from around my office. So this first one is a picture of a scratched file cabinet that I happen to have to the side of my desk. So I'm going to go to Image, Adjustments, and then Black and White. And I'm recording, and I've got a lot of things going on right now at the same time, so it's going to take me a minute for this to pop up. So I'm going to pause real quick, but I'll join us back once it's done. Okay, so once I select the image adjustment, black and white, it'll pop up a window much like this, and you should be able to just hit OK. And that should be all you need to do. All right, next thing I'm going to do is play around with the blend mode. And so if there's more black showing than white, then you can generally go to screen. And you can see it's going to bring in that, it's basically going to hide all of the black, but it sort of made it a little bit too foggy. So what I'm going to do is lower the opacity a little bit just to sort of get that extra bit of grunge and grit into the picture. Just makes it look kind of cool, kind of interesting. And then you might go ahead and go to Filter, and then try adding a Gaussian blur. I believe McKinnon refers to it as a Gaussian blur. I call it a Gaussian blur. And so that'll give you a little slider so you can adjust the intensity of the Gaussian blur. Just take some of the detail out of the picture. So I'm going to boost it up to 8.1, hit OK. All right, I'm going to demonstrate a couple more examples here in AH2. You can see I have this particular picture, and then I took a picture of the top of a computer that I have to the left. It's sort of this rubber that's sort of dusty, but it's got sort of this interesting texture. And so again, what I'm going to do is go to Image, and I'm going to go to Adjustments, and then Black and White. And I'll pause again because it seems to be taking a while for some reason. And we're back, and I'll go ahead and hit OK. And then I'm going to, again, use the screen overlay, but feel free to check out some of the other overlay options. Here it is with Lighten. Here it is with Screen. And I actually sort of like the Lighten one, just because I sort of think it has a cool texture in the corners here. There's sort of a vignette in the photo, the source image. And so it sort of gets that cool texture. But I'm going to lower the opacity. I want this to be pretty subtle. So you can look at the difference between this and this. Just adds a little bit, makes it a little bit different, makes the feeling a little bit different. You can also add a mask, and then on the mask right here, maybe if I want to have this not look so gritty, I can mask it out a little bit. It'll be a subtle change. Ooh, my opacity on my brush is down to 10%, so I'll increase that to 100%. And now we can see a little bit more of a difference coming in here. Just makes it pop out, focus more on the original image a little bit. All right, now in AH3, I've got another picture right here, and this time I'm going to turn it on. You can see this is like the gritty, dirty vinyl of a window that happens to be in my office. And so what I'm going to do is go to Image, Adjustments, and I'm going to go Black and White, like so. And so now I'm going to go ahead and hit OK. I'm going to add one additional adjustment. This is going to be a brightness contrast. I'm going to boost the brightness, and I'm going to boost the contrast. And so I'm going to boost it to here. It's just going to make the whites whiter, the darks darker. And then you'll see right here. So I'm going to get this sort of like dark grit, hit OK. And so now I'm going to adjust this. I'm going to use the Lighten, not the Lighten. Let's try Screen again. Let's see. You can try a bunch of different ones. I think I like Multiply. All right, so Multiply is going to basically do the opposite of Screen. It's going to pull out the white and keep the dark. And you'll notice it's pretty subtle here. It just adds a little bit of grunge and grit to it. I get sort of the speckles from over here. This did add a weird line that I don't particularly like. And so I can just take my mask tool again, and I can mask out anything that I don't want, and I can just sort of come in here and get rid of that line that doesn't look so good. I can also mask this out a little bit just to highlight this part of the key and maybe this logo area right here. All right, so this is how we can add some grunge to our photos and images and designs, just using sort of the dirt and debris that happens to be around your office. All right, I'm excited to see what you turn in.